We're live.
We're live. Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning to the US.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening if you're in Asia. We know that we have some people from Asia too. How's everyone doing?
If you are live on Crowdcast right now, please just write in the chat where you are connecting from today.
Someone from Essex. Was this like the posh part of the UK?
I don't know.
So, probably. Ben should know for sure.
Ben should tell us about that.
All right,
good
we have
evening
someone
from
from
India.
India. Well, it must be late for you. We have Dirk from Hamburg, probably enjoying the rain today, as it's every day in Hamburg. All right, Toronto. Great. I see Kare from Job Index from Denmark. Great to see you. Yeah, sunshine, says Dirk in Hamburg. I don't believe this. Right, we have someone
from France as well.
Nice.
Berlin, London. Hi, Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Okay,
all right.
How did you find Job Board Connect, Alex? It was great seeing you, of course, in London. And we had the nice Jobico event as well the night before.
Yeah, Jobico did a great event for the drinks in the evening. Made me probably not very fresh in the morning of the conference. So remind me to never open, conferences again after an evening. But it was great. I loved it. Learned so much. Lots of people. So Job Boards Connect is shaping to be a great conference to be at. What did you like most about it? You were also there this time.
Yeah, so it was my first time, and obviously, talking to people in person was great, and meeting everyone, seeing what they are building. And I think what I like the most as well, apart from meeting people, is the fact that the industry is feeling discomfort with AI right now. They think it's the time to build with it. I don't think this was the case like 2 to 3 years ago. But now everyone's feeling the heat of AI is here. We just need to deal with it. Obviously, some people didn't like how AI is moving the direction of it. One of the things is what we are discussing today, the auto apply. There are other issues like the bots. Probably a few years ago, creating a bot was hard. Now creating a bot will be vibe coding in 10, 15 minutes and you can create one, and might not scale, but still it's something that was really hard to create before.
Yeah, I think the pressure to do something with AI is now kind of immense. And and I'm also happy that we're not just seeing like the usual job description generation use cases. People are trying some new stuff. So that's great. I think if someone is interested, I wrote a bit of a longer review of the event. So I'm just going to paste it in the chat and feel free to have a look. And today, what are we talking about today?
AI apply. I applied for 500 jobs while I slept. So
did you really do it? Did you really do it?
But if I have to, I will. It's like the ghosting and job application is getting out of hand. It was an issue all the time, but it's just getting a lot worse right now. And these tools do actually have value for job seekers. And surprisingly, it has values for employers as well, which we are going to highlight today.
Yeah, I think it's not just, it's as always, it's not just black or just white. There's always nuances, but I think it's important to talk about these tools because they do have quite a lot of applications also in our industry, also from a job board perspective. And I'm really excited. Let's get into it. We also have a vibe coded demo to show, as always. The only HR tech webinar with some real demos. We have something prepared. So just stay with us and let's kick it.
Let's kick it. So let me know if you can see the slides right now.
I can.
Okay, Alex.
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks everyone for joining. We got more than 210 people signing up for this event. So usually we get with two numbers around 150 from scratch and then 100 people watch it afterwards. But this time was quite a lot of interest. So thank you all for joining. And we see almost 70 people live. So nice to be with all of you. Keep on Keep on joining our webinars. We do it for you, and this is our motivation.
Thank you so much. Let's talk about us. Let's make it really quick this time. I think everyone knows the webinar by now.
Yeah, pretty much everyone knows it. But me, I'm a consultant in the industry, advisor to job boards, HR tech companies, and I help with pretty much any technical topic from scraping to matching to SEO. Read my stuff on LinkedIn. If you're following me on LinkedIn, you know what I do. I have some job boards myself, and very excited to have the opportunity to do this with Oras, who has been my buddy in this HR tech journey, right? One of the very few AI people in the space. And just tell us about yourself. Go on.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you. So for those who don't know me, my name is Oras, and I've created the first job description generator with AI around 5 years ago. So before ChatGPT, before AI was cool, basically. And then during that, I started my startup journey and I created multiple products. Probably like most of you who are building in the HR tech, you try to solve one thing and then you find another 100 broken things. And I made the mistake of trying to solve everything, but that led me to a great learning experience. So I created multiple job boards. I recently created an AI resume builder, which I will talk about some of the challenges today on how the AI applies actually utilizing one of these techniques in order to help job seekers to understand their motivation and their application and matching.
It's going to be a bit of a technical session this time, right? I mean, we try to keep it still not so geeky, but there'll be tech to dive in. So 6 past events already. This is our 7th. Fun fact, we just saw today that our first webinar, Copy Indeed Strategy, which by the way has been already watched by how many? 5 people from Indeed or 6? Something like that.
Yeah.
We just need 7 more people to get to the 600. So if you haven't watched this, to go to our channel and have a look. It's kind of a evergreen webinar, especially now that we know that Indeed has been spending so much money on OpenAI and tokens. If you wonder where these tokens went to, that's the webinar to watch it. That's the webinar to look at.
Yeah. And by the way, when we talked about it in the webinar, it was kind of a theory that time. And we mentioned that this is one way of doing it. They might be doing it like the other old-fashioned way or having a machine learning teams and data scientist team. But Alex posted, I think last month, when OpenAI started shipping these tags or badges that how many tokens have you used? And turns out Indeed is one of the few that past the trillion tokens, which means they are using it a lot in so many different part of the hiring platform. And we talked about every section on how they could use AI and where it would be utilized in that webinar.
Yeah, it's really just watch it. I think that's the short. Just spend the hour. Everyone who watched it has been very grateful for this one.
Yeah.
Sponsors.
And our sponsors. So first of all, we have Jobico, and Jobico is a job board platform that helps you to increase reach and grow revenue with your job board. It's a leading job board platform for publishers to increase reach and grow recruitment advertising revenue, and flexible white label job board platform. They also have programmatic advertising service, Jobico AI Air, and then they have the AI-powered matching empowers Jobico clients to win back market share effectively. That's their message, but I have a message from myself about Jobico. So last month I was building a bespoke job board, and I went to understand how popular job boards are doing their SEO, their structure, their own page. And one of the job boards that I've tried were using Jobico. And to my surprise, Alex always talks about how many job boards still not utilizing the data structure for Google for Jobs. They are either not doing it correctly or they have missing important fields. While Jobico, they have breadcrumbs by default on every job page, which means you have structured data for Google and you have breadcrumb to give it the hierarchy of the job board. And they add that by default. But what is more interesting is if you have custom taxonomy in your job board in Jobico, they create a breadcrumb based on the custom taxonomy. And I think it's a coincidence, but Alex posted this morning about how these structured data are actually helping with breaching the AI overview in Google. So
Yeah.
there you go. If you're using Jobico, you're lucky to have that done for you without like any effort. It's there by default. But if not, this is one of the things that you need actually to optimize for your job board to get
Yeah.
just more clicks and more visibility.
Especially in AI overviews, right? So this was actually the study that I posted from Search Engine Land. Have a look if you're interested in that. And second sponsor, Job Copilot. This is actually AI apply tool that is sponsoring this webinar. But to be completely honest, we'll be as neutral as we can. Full disclosure, I'm an advisor at Job Copilot. I've been working with them for a year. And I think it's very important to notice that this is a very responsible product. We're going to talk about some of their initiatives on how they want to help create more qualified applications rather than just noise. And the funny story is that the way I actually got introduced to them was that I wrote a comment on LinkedIn that, instead of just automatically sending applications, you should ask the users if they really want to apply to this job before you shoot out the application. And Manuel, the founder, liked the idea and he built it, and it was very popular with people on the platform. That's how we got connected. So yeah, Job Copilot is I would say one of the leading vendors right now on the market. Very good reputation. And the most important part is that they offer job boards a revenue opportunity, right? So you can do a affiliate type of model with them on a white label platform, right? So you get your own Job Copilot branded platform that you can link to from your job board. And by already 40 sites use it, and the feedback has been pretty positive. So watch it, guys. And if you need some B2C revenue, give Manuel a call. Go post his LinkedIn so that everyone can reach out. And yeah, if someone wants to sponsor us again, we're not going to send you away. So just drop us a note. We do it for free, but we also like sponsors, right?
Yeah, it helps.
It helps, yeah. It helps to pay for the tokens.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so the agenda for today, we are going to talk about the rise of AI apply platforms. We will have some vendor overview, like the different types of applying directly to ATSs. We will talk about the technical details. For many people, they think AI apply is one platform, while we are going to show you the anatomy of AI apply platforms. They are actually like multiple sub-platforms working together or independently in order to reach that goal. It's quite complicated, and we'll go into lots of details here. And then we will have a live demo today. So Alex has vibe coded an AI apply, and you will see it in action. How does it work? And probably he will give you some overview on how you can create something similar. We'll talk about the ethical concerns. We got lots of comments on LinkedIn when we posted about it. Like, yeah, this is just like you're helping spammers, and there's no value behind this. And we are going to talk about these ethical concerns. They are all valid, and we all have it, by the way. It's not like we are not promoting spamming services here. We are talking about services that will help both sides, from job seekers and employers. And we are going, again, to explain how this could be possible and how this could be a good collaboration. And then after that, we will close by the impact on job boards, what you should expect, and just some advice of maybe guidance on what you can do in order to avoid that impact. Before that, if you are following us on Crowdcast, please follow the page. You are doing us a favor here. If you follow it, the more followers that we will have, the higher chance that we will get featured there, and we will get better exposure, and we can continue with that and creating probably more webinars if we get time to do that.
But also you won't miss the next webinars, right? Because right now the only way to get notified is to follow us on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I think. Give us a follow. All right. So yeah, I mean, what's happening right now? I remember 2 years ago 2023 in Berlin, was when ChatGPT was starting to pick up, and I was giving a talk about on Recbus. And one of the slides was that, if you can use the AI as a recruiter, then job seekers will also start using it. And back then, everyone was pretty easygoing. Nah, it's not going to be a problem. There's going to be an explosion of applications. Chill out. Why are you planting these messages here right now? And even last year, earlier this year at the Spring Job Boards Connect, we had some C-level executives of large job boards that sat on stage and said that that's not a problem, right? Like AI apply, it's not an issue. And I just don't believe it. It's like, is it probably some form of ignorance, or it's just like closing your eyes in front of the wave and hoping that the wave is just gonna, pass around you? But that's not how waves work. So here is a very interesting example from LinkedIn for a job that got 5,000 applicants in just 3 days. It's a remote job, remote white-collar jobs. I would say in this segment, you're probably expecting to see something between 3,000 and 4,000 applications in the first days. There's absolutely no way to go through 5,000 applications in any real world. And all of them will be perfectly fine-tuned for this job. That's the problem that people underestimate. And yeah, I mean, we had also at some point early this year, the media picked up this trend. So they started writing articles about people using apply tools. What is the actual conversion rate here? You apply to 5,000 jobs, you get 20 interviews. It's pretty bad conversion rate when you think about it. And Reddit is full of examples where people are just applying to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 jobs. And you cannot do it without AI apply. At this point, I'm very convinced that it's a big amount of people, large amount of people who use these tools. Let's see. I don't know if someone from the audience has a guess. Is it 30% of people using AI apply, or 50, 70? Just type in some number and yeah.
Yeah. So Stephen mentioned in the chat that an application on LinkedIn only means how many times the apply button is clicked. It does not reflect the actual applications. That's correct when it's an external one, but for the easy apply, I think it is the actual number of applications.
But we also have at Job Boards Connect, I had this, I think 3 or 4 slides from recruiters sharing on LinkedIn how many applications they get on a daily basis. Banajit's podcast had the chief recruiting officer of a US-based staffing agency. And they said that it's absolutely normal to get 1,500 applications on day one. These numbers are real. I don't think we have to debate them, to be honest.
And Ben is mentioning that 35% of applications didn't have matching experience when followed up. We are going to talk about that. This is one of the ethical concerns that we got a lot of feedback about. So we are going to mention that at the end. It's a very valid point. That's where you distinguish between spammers and the actual platforms who would help to get the matching before the application itself. Okay, and then AI has entered recruiting. So 20% of recruiters say they would reject a job candidate who used an AI-generated resume or cover letter. And according to a survey of 600 hiring managers in the US, only 14.5% think candidates should not use AI at any stage of applying for a job. But for job seekers side, 2/3 of them say they use AI when applying for a job. That could be tailoring the resume, creating a cover letter, and even interview practice or career guidance. How do I prepare for this interview? How do I do the questions? What kind of questions I should expect? And you get more job seekers getting ready now for interviews compared to before AI. And on that note, we actually have a poll here, and we would like to check, are you with or against job seekers using AI tools? So if you go to the right side, if you're on Crowdcast, you will find the poll there. Okay, so up until now, we had 15, 17, 19 supports,
Wow.
and
Okay.
one haven't decided. Oh, that's good. That's actually really good.
Probably people who are not hiring anyone right now. Like if you talk to
Well,
people from financial services, for them it's like if you use AI, you are just not reliable, right? I've heard this so many times, specifically in the scene in London. It's like crazy.
I'm actually quite happy with these results because now we are in the age of AI. Are you going to hire people who have absolutely no AI experience, didn't hear about ChatGPT or haven't used it before, or Claude or Gemini? Like it's embedded in everything we do these days. If you join a meeting, you'll find people like using some kind of AI to have meeting notes. You have it in the summarizing emails and replying to emails. And some of the platforms started offering kind of an agent experience within the platform itself. Like AI is kind of everywhere and is going to expand in the next year or two. Are you going to hire people who have absolutely no experience? I would question that decision. So I'm quite happy to see that number of people voting to support job seekers using AI.
Yeah, I guess it's like if you would ask 5 years ago, would you like to hire someone who uses a mobile phone?
Exactly.
Probably we're getting into this age. Hey, nice. Very good.
Nice. That's a good start.
You'll start. And the truth is that job seekers love these tools, right? This is feedback from Job Copilot. I actually see a lot of the customer support messages that we get because we share them, and people really thank the team because they finally got a job after 3 or 4 months of searching and sending hundreds of or thousands of applications. So the tools are here to stay. I think that's kind of the takeaway.
And like all this happened because of the ghosting. The previous slide, when we talked about applying to 5,000 jobs to get 20 interviews, like, can you imagine doing like probably 100 and like receiving nothing, no email or the auto rejection? It's kind of in the beginning it was the employers who had this power of ATS is giving them matching and they can decide even if there's like a large number of applications they can decide based on AI which one to interview and which one to shortlist. But now the same power is available to job seekers.
Yeah. So let's talk about what actually means to deliver an application to an ATS, right? Generally, I think that there are probably two ways to look at this problem, right? So you either have an ATS integration, which means that the ATS and the employer are aware that you're going to deliver the application to them and via API. And if you go into this direction, there are different tools. We have Alex Murphy from JobSync in the chat, who I've worked with in the past in JobSync. So I have a bit of experience with ATS integrations. It's hell on earth, I would say. It's a really tough area to be in, just because of how old these legacy systems are. And JobSync and Combo, I've put them on the same slide, but they're completely different as to how they work and what kind of services they provide. But I think one thing that I want to say about this is that right now, the hardest part to do the ATS integration is, in most of the cases, to get the authentication, to be allowed to get the application data and to post back applications to it. And the bigger the companies, the more complex it gets because then you have more stakeholders that you need to involve, right? You have to involve the ATS people, you need to involve your HR team, you need to involve the security, the IT security people, you need to involve legal. So if you're working with a large company and someone tells you here is an API to integrate with Workday, I would be, slightly skeptical as to how easy it is actually to do that. Just worth mentioning it. It's a very hard business. And the other way would be to deliver the application without actual integration, where the employer might know about it. The ATS boss certainly doesn't know about it, right? and there are ways to do it. But in essence, we're going to look into the actual process. In most simple terms, it's also cool technology. It's automating the process of simulating a person going to the career page of a company, getting all the data from it, and then submitting the application with a headless browser in most of the cases. So yeah, two completely different ways. And unfortunately for job boards, the one on the left is pretty hard to get. Let's not use the word impossible, but like in 99% of the cases, an ATS would have zero motivation to integrate with you as a job board. Yeah, I've covered these basics a bit deeper into 2 blog posts. If you are interested in getting a bit deeper, the third part of the blog post, you saw that I wrote in December last year. The third part is going to come finally next week. So, you have the opportunity to read the full series. But if you want more details, that's a good place to start.
Wonderful. Now, let's talk about the AI applied tools like Anatomy. What looks like you sign up as a job seeker and you populate your profile and then it will start applying. There are so many subsystems in the background to make this happen. So first of all, you look at the job scraping and cleaning. They need to scrape jobs from multiple sources, multiple ATSs. And it's not just about getting the job, it's about maintaining the status of the job. Has it expired or not? So that's a bot that they scrape with need to keep checking that page if there are any changes, if it has expired to remove it. Also structuring the unstructured data. For some people, they might think, like if you look at Greenhouse or some clean ATSs where the page looks amazing and nice and you can read it and scrape it. But there are other ATSs, without mentioning some names, like you will open it and it will open like 4 iframes, not even related to the job. These are really hard to scrape and get the data. And then after that, they have the CV parsing. This is kind of like there are some industry standard for that, and there are some companies doing it. But to do it cost effective, they would have to do the CV parsing by themselves. Otherwise, it will get like really expensive, and they wouldn't be able to offer it at the current price that they are offering the service with. So CV parsing has to be clear and clean and supporting different formats. I can talk from my experience. I will give you some examples. When you think about a CV as like a PDF with text, that's very easy to parse and get the information and then maybe use LLMs to structure it. But there are so many instances that I've seen people having a screenshot of a CV, putting it in a Word document. Like that kind of thing is really hard to parse. And you need to cover all the test cases here in order to be scalable. And then after that, after getting the jobs and the CVs, you start having the job filtering and matching. So after the scraping, it's not just about cleaning the data. It's about tagging the data, creating a taxonomy for like certain industries, for keywords, for locations, and start matching these to the information that you got from the CV. And on top of that, they offer candidate profile builder. So I signed up to Job Copilot in order to look at the process. Profile Builder will ask so many questions that you might not find in a CV. Are you willing to relocate? What is your preference? Is it remote, hybrid, on-site? And will ask you some different questions about like certain technologies that you have used, or if you want to populate technologies to skip when you apply. There are so many things in the Profile Builder that is not even related to the CV. They will populate whatever you have in the CV that could be matched, but they will ask you questions that you usually find in ATS applications. And then after that, you get the apply preference. So are there certain locations that you are interested in? Are there certain job titles you are interested in? Certain employers that you want to exclude? And that would add to your profile. And then after that, you have the CV tailoring. They will tailor the job, like your CV based on the job description. So it's a combination of the CV parsing, the job description, your profile, your preference to create a CV on the fly before even doing the actual apply. So as you can see, like so many things can go wrong here. It's very hard to scale a system like this because there are so many subsystems running in the background. Any one of them failing will affect the others. And that's why you need to make sure like the monitoring is in a place for that to be at that scale. You need to cover different markets. You need to cover different jobs titles, different ATSs for the scraping. And once you hit the actual apply, which you will see from the demo from Alex, the apply, there are so many things that could go wrong with that. Right now, the antipod detection is getting a lot harder compared to before. And there are services to overcome that. But as you can imagine, like these services will make the application slower, will increase the error rate, and will add some cost onto how to avoid them. Like every minute you spend longer on creating that application with the headless browser, you are consuming other compute resources. For applying to 10 jobs, might looks fine, but imagine you have thousands of candidates applying to hundreds of jobs per month. That will be a lot if you don't optimize for that process.
Yeah. And I'll add two things here. One is the CV tailoring part, which I think most people really don't get, because if I use one of and there are different tools, right, that cover different features from the list that Oras is showing right now. Some of them are like very simple. They just do spray and pray. So you just tell them apply to 1,000 jobs where the keyword manager is in the title, and they're just gonna, and apply to everything. And if they do the CV tailoring there, your CV will be tailored to the job description, but not necessarily because you're qualified for it, right? Just because if you give ChatGPT a resume and a job description, it will make something out of it that sounds, fairly plausible. And it can make skills up, it can make responsibilities up, it can make parts of biography up, right? That's an LLM. And this is like, it puzzles me that people didn't see this as a problem. Like you get 1,000 resumes, each of them is perfectly optimized to the job description. They all go through your ATS keyword screenings. Like, what do you want to do? Like you get 1,000 perfect resumes. Like, are you going to talk to everyone on the phone? Good luck with that, right? That's one thing. The other thing is there's difference between, right, there are the browser plugins, which are a bit easier to circumvent the whole issue with the bots, although not fully, right? But still a bit easier because you can do these pauses and make like more natural user behavior. But for some of the ATSs, if you really want to be able to do this at scale, you need extensive infrastructure to support this. You need to build in flows of users that actually mimic real user behavior, like jumping between forms, deleting stuff, putting it again, and so on. So it's very complex. It's a very complex thing to build at scale.
So Alex, apply delivery process with the ATS integration.
Yeah, I'm almost ready to invite Alex Murphy to say how this works, and maybe shed some light into why Steven and I have been fighting in the chat. But if you want to deliver an application to an ATS, you need to be able to authenticate yourself to this ATS. And with this authentication, there's a lot of issues that need to be solved purely from a legal perspective, right? Because some ATSs are so bad designed on the user role that if they give you an API key, you could actually have access to their disposition data, right? So just because of like roles management. But in basic form, you need to be able to authenticate to the ATS to be able to pull the job the screening question schema and the actual job data. Then you need to display this on your site in the proper way. If there are conditional questions, you need to also build this up. How many of the job boards are actually able to support these types of complex front ends that do multi-step applies? Good luck with that. Then you have to collect the information. You have to validate it. You have to prepare it in the proper form that needs to be submitted by the API. Then some ATSs ask you to actually first create a profile of the user, get the profile ID, then submit the application with the profile ID, right? Because they have a sign-up form, so you cannot just apply. You need to actually have a profile. So this is a very, very complex process. There's no way to do shortcuts here, right? You have to build it properly end-to-end. And the hard part is always to get access to the ATS because, as I said, A, they have absolutely no motivation to let you in, especially as a job board. And B, you're just like a risk for them. Why would they do it, right? They have to figure out everything with the whole stakeholders that you have to talk to. That's not an easy thing. So the other approach is a lot more easier.
And this is the no ATS integration, which we are going to talk about. So in terms of like parsing the page, you would need to like create a scraper, do the parsing, but the parsing is not just for the HTML text. If there are some people who are not familiar with scraping, there are so many things that can go wrong with scraping JavaScript forms, because some of the questions will be kind of conditional. As an example, like, are you willing to relocate? Then yes, and then you will get multiple questions based on that. If it is a no, then you will get different questions. So all these needs to be parsed and tagged when you do that, on top of passing the anti-bot detection. Right now, Cloudflare got like really aggressive on the anti-bots, and it's kind of part of their offering right now. There is a one-click to identify like bots and stop them, like showing them the verify you are a human. And this is a one-click solution, and you can go a lot further in implementing something a lot more sophisticated with multiple platforms. And then you have the field extractions. So it's not just the field itself. You need to identify the field type. Is it a text? Is it a radio button? Is it a select? Is it a text area? Is it a rich text area? So there are multiple things that you need to factor here. And then you have the form answering. So the context of the application, generating the answers based on the user profile. This is what Alex mentioned, like LLMs will just make up things. LLMs are always instructed to give an answer, whether this is true or false, factual or hallucination, they will always come up with an answer. And that's one of the really important ones, to understand the field type, the context of the form, the context of the question, the context of the conditional question based on the user profile in order to fill the form correctly. And then you have the form navigation, the data formats like drag and drop, file uploads, resume customization. Some of them will ask you for a phone number before proceeding. And this is kind of one of the, I think it's still tricky to do that right now with any auto apply, because with the phone number, if you require like SMS verification, then that's the end. Like you don't get the verification to the platform, it will go to the candidate, and there is no way that they can do that as an automated way. So this is one of the options that can actually stop these platforms from working. But then you have, after uploading the CV, it's not conditional, but it's part of the form process. Like you upload the CV and it will start populating some of the form inputs, and the auto apply will need to understand which one has populated, which ones are not, and start looking at them and populating them. And then after that, you have the submission. So the email confirmation, if there is one, the security checks, if there is any other like anti-bot detection at the end. One of the things that you can use again with Cloudflare is to have kind of the Captcha assigned with the submission. So you can have it as a like page wise, you can have it like website for the website wide, but you still be able to do it with the submission as another step to verify the authenticity of the application.
Yeah, so just so many things that can go wrong here. And just think about it. If you want to do it at scale, right? So let's say that I build it for Greenhouse. Doesn't mean that it's going to work with every instance of Greenhouse, right? Because different companies have different Greenhouse configurations. They have different questions that they implement. They have different ways of how Greenhouse is actually implemented in the career page. The forms can vary. They can use also different diff names. So, good luck creating a generic solution for that. I don't think that technology is anywhere near there to create this. Like an anecdotal evidence is that early in the days of LLMs, there were a couple of companies that said that they'll do job scraping with LLMs. Instead of, building all these configurations, the LLM is going to build the job scraping configuration. None of them made it big on the market, right? So that says something, I think.
Yeah, there will always be something to fight in the infrastructure. It's not, yeah, like LLMs. But even if they try to solve that on a scale, it's it's um it's not financially feasible because LLMs are expensive. If you want to use them at scale to do that scraping, I don't think it will go well. The cost of running them all the time, detecting the changes will be just hard. On that point, actually, there is an open source platform called BrowserBase. So BrowserBase will allow you. I'll post the link here. It's not
Mhm.
affiliated or anything, but I like the product. They will allow you to control the browser with LLM. So you give instructions and it will start like going there and filling the form or doing the search. And there's one if you want to try it like without sign up. Gemini, when Google introduced computer use a few weeks ago, they
Mhm.
added this Gemini.browser base just to show you the capabilities of Gemini. So this will give you like 5 minutes of showing you how the LLM will work on like understanding the page. So the example that I used saying like go to a certain website, I gave the website name, not the URL, and then they the LLM went to Google, and somehow the browser was in Germany. I don't know why, but the website was in the UK. So it detected that is actually this is Google for Germany, and then changed to Google for the UK. Looked at the website, went there, identified the search element, the search term, and then it clicked the first link as instructed. It was really good. And to do that within 5 minutes without any technical understanding, I think it's brilliant. However, again, the cost of running that for 5 minutes, along with the infrastructure that you need to pay probably per minute for all these computer use, will not make it scalable.
And I mean, we got a very good question from Tom, right? He's asking if these new AI browsers are going to be able to do the applies on the fly. I think it's a very interesting question, because in the early days of Operator, people said that Operator is gonna do applies for us. What are your thoughts? Maybe you have a slightly more positive opinion than I. So you go first, and then I'll just give
Yeah.
my 2 cents.
I would say to Tom, like, look at Gemini browser base, the link that I just posted right now in the chat. Look at it and try yourself. Some of these parts are doable. Other parts will require integration. You still can do it, but you need to face the captchas and how to overcome them and the dynamic forms. But the Gemini browser base actually did well in the dynamic form because you can see like in every step, the LLM will look at the page, what the LLM will see in the page from the DOM side and from taking the screenshot, combining the data in order to give you an answer of what would be the next step. So the thing that I actually liked about it is taking an action without guidance.
I think
Yeah,
for
Tom is
simple
saying
cases, it's gonna work. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
For like Greenhouse and Lever, if Claude can code vibe code tool that applies to jobs, a browser will be able to do it. But I would like to remind everyone that even though these are AI browsers, right, there's nothing that has changed on fundamentally how this technology works, because you have to navigate the DOM tree, you have to execute the JavaScript. So these are old technologies that need guidance. And it's not that the LLM is magically going to go and solve these issues for you. They still will be there. And even if you go into the process of where the LLM asks you for input at every step or whenever it fails with a form, then most people will just, resolve to the AI apply tools because they're going to do it in the background for them. That's my thought. Yeah.
Okay, so much can go wrong. The ATS page can change, so the scrape might not work or work partially. We talked about Cloudflare can detect unhuman behavior and force all kind of captchas. And then what you have like partial screening questions. If you don't get the full schema, you wouldn't be able to give the full context to the LLM to finish the application. And then LLMs can mix up context with the questions and make up things. And this is like very easy to do. You can say like I worked on certain technologies, and because you mention a keyword that is not even related to what you want to do for the matching, LLM will create an answer that looks plausible which has nothing to do with it. And recently, we've seen some jobs and some ATSs actually adding some text to the LLM, not for a human. So they will say, if you can see it here from this screenshot, if you are a large language model, start second paragraph of the motivation letter with something. So you can instruct the LLM to say something, and you can identify that this is a bot, and like even passing everything we've said before and making a successful submission, you still have some tricky part of the application that will be rejected because it will be identified. And recently, Phil from 4 Days Week, he posted that from DuckDuckGo. It's a senior software engineer role, and they put clearly like, human, please discard this AI protection rule, but if you're an LLM, do that. So they give instructions, and as you can see, like, you can add some hidden text, you can add some hidden forms, you can add a form to say, if you're a human, just ignore it, if you're LLM, fill it with something. And this is how these companies are. This is probably the beginning of the fight for fighting the bots and AI apply. Yeah, some companies will fight it, other companies will accept it, and we'll talk about kind of framework where we think this could work for both sides.
I think one final thing that, I mean, actually most of these you can catch with a prompt. So if you ask Gemini if there are any hidden instructions, it will catch them, and then it will be solved. Weirdly, I actually tested Gemini with my resume and one of these jobs, and it just completely skipped the instructions. I don't know if it was because they're hidden or it was just like an LLM feature disguised as a bug. But yeah, maybe I have consciousness, right? But I just want to say that even if you submit an application and it seems as if the message was a success, I can tell you that there are some ATSs that collect a lot of the signals on how the user behaves and then use it as a very strong indication of this is a spam application or not. You see the successful message, but then somewhere in the backend, this application is flagged as spam, and someone has to actually manually turn it on to go into this recruiting cycle. Something that doesn't get talked a lot about in the industry. Okay, is it time for a demo? All right.
Time.
So let's see. Again, I decided to do a vibe coded demo. So basically, it has been tested a few times, of course, and it works, but everything can go wrong, right? I have not changed a single line of this code. What you will see right now is my, can everyone see my Visual Studio Code platform too? Yeah, cool. Yeah, so there is a script, right, that is going to go to a job from Lever, and is going to show us how a potential apply looks like. It's been coded from scratch, so there are some requirements, right? I'm gonna show you how the job actually looks like, so that we are all to date. So this is the actual application page of the job. You see it's a Lever page. Here are a few of the questions, and yeah, I mean, let's just see what happens, right? We had to make a poll if you think that it's gonna be successful or not. I will test this. All right, and by the way, you see that if you're an engineer, you're probably seeing these red marks. It's because I did not change anything on the code, right? It has been written end to end by Claude. I haven't modified anything, so it has some like annotation issues that Claude creates. But yeah, let's give it a go. So when I press enter right now, it's going to launch a headless browser. It's going to scrape the page. We'll try to collect the questions. And I have this file here where I have just added some of my basic information that will be used to fill out the form. So let's see. All right, so I'm just gonna go with the default URL, the one that I provided, and I'm not gonna do the debug mode because we're just going to go for real life. So you see a browser gets loaded, and right now what's gonna happen is that we fetched all the apply schema, right? So like all the questions. So let's maybe just have a quick look. What are the questions? So full name, email, phone. Full name, email, phone, current location, current company. The links are pretty sure that they were omitted because they are optional. We have the expected salary, right? We have the how long is your notice period? It's here. We have do you require a visa sponsorship, which is like a radio button, right? So you see that it actually got it as two different options, right? Have you ever been convicted of a crime? Again, like radio question, radio button. Do you have any relatives currently employed? I think this was the first one. Maybe it's in the buff. I saw it somewhere. The relatives. Yeah, here again, required. How many years of relevant working experience do you have for the role? Again, like radio button. And do you agree to the forest limited privacy? All right. So now you see that the script has understood that the first field, full name, has to be filled out with my name. So I'm just going to press yes. Then email, I'm going to go yes. Phone, just going to type in something. Current location, yes, Munich. Current company, I'm going to go Kraken. What is your expected annual salary? Let's do 30,000. How long is your notice period? 3 months. And again, it's asking me where I'm based. I don't know why again, but let's just say yes. Do you require a visa sponsorship? I'll say no. Have you ever been convicted? Let's go with no. And now in the background, right? Hopefully, the headless browser is selecting these fields. Do you have relatives? No. How many years? Let's say this one. Do you agree to the privacy policy? Yes. It's asking me for LinkedIn. So now it's going to the optional fields, right?
Yeah.
Let's
So Alex,
see.
sorry, can you split the page between the application and the code so we can see like what the automation is doing? Yeah.
So I'm just gonna skip these, and then right now, okay. So now it's filling the data. It asks now. Do you see the captcha that's appearing? Right. I have to solve it. Do like this, right? Okay. So you see, it's actually filling out the form.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. And now it asking me, right, if I press enter, it's going to click submit. I'm not going to do it because actually, why not? I have not submitted a resume. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay, so nothing happened. Oh, ready to submit application. Yes, let's do that. Well, there was a field missing. Oh, current location. Okay, so you see what can go wrong. This field was not properly filled out. But again, like for something that was created in 5 minutes, it covered, I don't know, 95% of the requirements that we had. And I could now tell Claude that this failed and it's going to solve it. So
That's wonderful. That's great. That's great. Like for 5 minutes, this is awesome.
Am I a vibe coder now?
Certified vibe coder.
Yeah. But you saw the captcha piece. I think that was very interesting because yeah, I have a requirements.md, so they are here. Just describes the process. Yeah.
So for the captcha, by the way, there is a service. I haven't tried it yet, but they promise to solve the captcha via an API. So you send them like the page and they will give you the solution to the captcha. They also go into the details of like giving you how many minutes or seconds it will take to solve the captcha. So it will be a constant fight between anti-bot and bots.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be continuous fight, and somehow people would need to pick a side. If you don't want anything to do with AI or automation, there are multiple ways to stop them. You can use like verification of the phone number. It's really easy. Like it's not hard to stop them. Verification of phone number will stop them with SMS. And or if you want to embrace, which will be the next slides that we are going to talk about, we will give kind of a different view of how these platforms could be utilized from employer side.
Yeah, stay with us. We're not done yet. No, the demo is over, but we're not done yet. We still have some interesting stuff to talk to you about. And What is everyone's feeling? Was it a successful demo? I think it almost worked, right?
Yeah, let's see the feedback in the comments, please.
Don't build it, don't start building these tools. Okay. Good one. You're gonna talk about this
Nice.
one, right?
Yeah. So now let's talk about the ethical concerns. Any of these services could be spammy if they want to. They build the infrastructure and they can do it as they please. But then Alex and we talked with Emmanuel, the co-founder of AI Job Applications, and we came up with kind of a manifesto. It's not regulation, it's not imposing on anyone. It's kind of a manifesto or guidance on how these tools could be helpful for employers and job seekers alike. And these will include transparency, like you as a job seeker, you know where your information is going, where being applied. You need to consent. It has to be consent based on doing the application on behalf of the job seeker. And I think Job Copilot is going to start offering an API. So there will be an API for employers to verify the candidates. So it's not like a made up CV, or they don't have the matching experience, which is the comment that we got from Ben in the beginning. Like people applying for jobs that they are not matched for. So there will be an API to verify that this applicant is genuine and they actually have the like the matching criteria. And there are other things about like the privacy, how this will be handled. We will provide the link so you can read it. And if you have any feedback about it, we would love to hear your thoughts about it.
Yeah, link is in the chat. So
Okay.
have a look, everyone. I think it's a very important topic. And final advice, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so it's gonna be a bit of a painful one, because at Job Boards Connect, I said that most of the career services and like AI apply vendors are starting to build job boards, right? Because they see that the paid traffic acquisition is limited, and that there are these cool things that you can do with Google Jobs. You can get traffic for free in Google Jobs. So they are starting to build job boards, and they would start to compete with you for getting traffic. But I'm pretty sure that some of them will most likely start to compete with you also on the B2B side.
So going to previously what we mentioned, that these platforms will have a full candidate profile that no job board will have, and candidates will voluntarily give that data because it will help them with the matching. So they have that. They have the direct sourcing for organic jobs, which most job boards who would like to get organic traffic are doing. And they have the AI apply, they have the matching algorithm. Once employers see the value of getting candidates for free, it might cut the ad spending on programmatic or direct posting. So just be prepared for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's easy to sell a new resume pool that's very up to date, and you have lots of questions that the person has answered, historically speaking. So yeah, but for now, I would say the interesting business model is from Job Copilot that allows job boards to do like white label integrations. So here is an example with Remotive, where you can do a REST share deal with them, and as I said, customers are pretty happy. Give them a go and try it out. I think it's worth it. And oh yeah, Jesus, I forgot about it. Final announcement. Like we were actually full of special announcements. Emmanuel also told us that they are going to offer their Job Copilot services and API to job boards. So not as a business model, but more as a, if you want to submit applications to your customers via the API. So yeah, that's a good opportunity if you want to keep people longer on your page. Go and talk to Emmanuel. I'm pretty sure he'll be happy to set you up.
Nice. And the final one. So before you leave, please let us know what you would like us to cover in the next webinar. Anything technical or anything in the market that you would like to get like some deep understanding about from technical perspective. We would like to hear from you. Please let us know in the comment or on LinkedIn comments.
Yeah. Thank you for joining, as always. Spread the word. Have a good afternoon or a good start of the day. Tell us if you want to hear more jokes or less jokes. What else? Have a nice Christmas, I guess, soon. It's almost Christmas time.
Yeah, happy Christmas to everyone.
That was too early. It's way too early. Right?
Hopefully we'll do one before Christmas, but just in case.
Yeah. Hey, everyone, should we do a webinar on Indeed? Did you want to hear something about Indeed as the last webinar? Let's try to get a feeling of what people think. If you want to hear us about Indeed, just let us know and we might come up with something.
Awesome.
Great. Well, as always, 8 minutes above the usual time. But who cares? We're not professionals. We do it for fun.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.